Okay. Garfield. You're happy to see somebody who's not talking about sexual harassment, right? You sound in a good mood tonight. Thank you for coming. What do we talk about tonight? Did you see what Vice President Dan Quayle was supposed to have said during an interview, I guess he did with Barbara Walters? Because of the jokes apparently I have made over the years about the Vice President, he said to Barbara Walters, Johnny Carson should share his salary with me. Well, Mr. Vice President, I will do that starting May 23rd. Well, why shouldn't I? I've been sharing my salary with everybody else for a number of years. But anyway. Well, how many of you have seen the big art exhibit?
Yeah.
It's in all the news. The artist Christo, who has done, didn't he wrap a bridge in Paris in cloth? He's done amazing things. Well, anyway, he unveiled these umbrellas down in the Tejon Pass today, and also in Japan. It cost $26 million for the umbrellas. I got the same patio set, $258 at Sears. Big yellow umbrella. It's his own money. This is not public funds or anything, but $26 million, and it's only going to be seen for 3 weeks. Sounds like a typical Hollywood movie. Like Hudson Hawk. It was 105 in the valley today. Why in the hell didn't they bring the umbrellas up here and put them out where we need them today? Out in the line. It is remarkable, and I guess it's artistic, right? It makes a social statement. There are 1,760 yellow umbrellas along an 18-mile stretch. Isn't that on the Grapevine?
Yeah.
Here in California. Yellow umbrellas. At the same time, in Japan, he opened 1,340 blue umbrellas. And would you believe it already? 30 minutes later, the Japanese umbrellas had bought all of the California umbrellas. Well, I suppose you're, I suppose you're all looking forward to the televised playoffs? I'm talking about Judge Thomas versus Miss Hill. Tomorrow, I guess the investigation starts with the Judiciary Committee. And to show that they're still friends, Thomas and Hill are going to open the Senate hearings by singing a duet of Unforgettable. Now, I don't mean to make light of sexual harassment. It's an important thing, and everybody is being very careful lately about harassing women, right? This morning, Regis called Kathy Lee Mrs. Gifford. How many of you women, now, be honest, we're not going to turn the camera on, have been in the workplace what you would call harassed by male workers? Just applaud. Really? Interesting statistic the paper came out with today. 2% of males, they say, have been sexually harassed in the working place. And that's true. Look, I can't even walk out here to the water cooler without one of the secretaries saying, look, love muffins, you want a guest host at my house tonight? I mean, have you ever been sexually harassed?
Many times.
Well, sure. Well, of course, you give them credit cards. It's kind of sad, and it's not everything else off of the front page, right? Democratic Paul Tsongas is so desperate for media coverage. Today, he admitted he pinched his secretary in 1968. That's what he said. Well, let's see. Liz Taylor and I guess her new bridegroom, Larry, is it Fortensky? I guess she is Mrs. Now, Larry Fortensky, and they're still having their honeymoon up at Michael Jackson's ranch, and it's hard to believe, but today, right now, Liz Taylor is frying chicken so Larry can take it in his lunch bucket tomorrow. Probably with a banana in there and a wax paper. It's just so nice. How many of you have been watching the baseball playoffs? some reason I can't get used to baseball on CBS. Do we really need Andy Rooney doing the color commentary? Sure, last night? Why do they call it a bullpen? There's no bull in there. Why is that? Why do they call it that? Oh, who needs that? Okay, only in America. This happened in a town of Piqua, Ohio. It's going to open tomorrow, the Great Outdoor Underwear Festival. You know what I'm talking about? Are you from Ohio? Apparently, it's a 3-day tribute to the 14 underwear companies who apparently are based or housed in Piqua, Ohio. And they're going to have the world's largest lingerie clothesline. And they're going to have a big parade. And the leader and the inspector of the parade is Inspector number 9, Haynes Inspector number 9. Guess who announced that he may be seeking the presidency again for the 5th time? Eugene McCarthy. Remember Eugene McCarthy? Oh, yeah, boy, overwhelming response there. I like Gene McCarthy. He's kind of realistic, but more so than the other candidates. Someone asked him if he thought he could win, and he said, God, I hope not. Let's see what else in the paper. Little tidbits that you may enjoy. Of course, you'll be the judge of this, as you often are during this little time that we spend together. On this date in 1886, did you know that the very first tuxedo was worn in this country? And do you know where it was worn? In a town called Tuxedo, New York. That's where it's got its name. It was a major breakthrough because most people don't realize this, but up until that time, if a man wanted to go to a formal evening, he had to glue a penguin to his chest. There was no such thing. You got anything better? What the hell is it? All right, let's try this one out. Now, this is true. Happened in New York City. This could happen out here in California. A robber in New York City has been breaking into public restrooms and stealing thousands of handles from flush toilets. They don't know why. They don't know there's a plumber or just some kook. He's taking all the handles off the flush toilets. And the police want to capture him, but they have nothing to go on. It is the strangest thing. Well, if they catch him, what are they going to charge him with? Potty larceny? All right. Okay. We had them, we use them. We have stuff like that, we use it. We just don't like to sit around the hall and use. Okay. We have a show for you tonight, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Mr. Carl Reiner is with us tonight. A new young lady, comedian, first time on the show. Her name is Destiny. Yes, she's in it. Oh. We have a gentleman with us tonight who is a bachelor, which is not particularly unusual, except this bachelor, his name is Mike Zella, happens to be, if it's true, 103 years old. So, stay where you are. We will be right back.
And the great NBC office. Thank you. It is time now, ladies and gentlemen, for a special visit from that mystery man from the East. The all-knowing, all-seeing, all-telling, all-omniscient, famous seer, sage, soothsayer, and former test tube baby, Karnak the Magnificent. Oh, great seer and sage. And welcome once again.
Simsalabim.
Yes. As you can see, I hold in my hand the envelopes. These envelopes are hermetically sealed. They've been kept in a mayonnaise jar in Funkenwagel's port since noon today. No one knows the contents of these envelopes. But you, in your mystical, magical, borderline divine way, will ascertain the answers without even knowing the questions. Here is envelope number 1.
Your part gets bigger every time we do this. May we have absolute silence, please? I will divine the answer to this question sealed in the envelope.
Hermetically sealed.
Having never before seen it.
Funkenwagel's port? Since noon today.
With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there.
With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there.
How do you raise the bid at a turkey auction? Ooh.
Want to give number 2 a whack?
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Describe Oprah Winfrey in high school. Hasbro.
Hasbro.
How does Tito Jackson get work? Short stack. Name the host of Unsolved Midget Mysteries. Robin Hood, Dead Again, Thelma and Louise. Describe the last 800 years of Shirley MacLaine. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
What do you do after a one-night stand with Mrs. Olson? Jump down, turn around, and pick a bale of cotton. What's the last thing to do with a live grenade in your mouth? Spam and Jim Baker. Name 2 things that'll be in the can for the next 18 years. Godzilla, Rodan, New York City. Name 3 big Japanese things. Bungee diving and a date with Geraldo. Name 2 things that end with a jerk on your leg. Que sera, sera. Name the sound of someone sawing through a Kmart. Hop sing.
Hop sing.
Thank you. Name a prison for one-legged guys.
This could be historic. I hold in my hand what may very well be the last of the last envelopes.
May your proctologist be a frustrated concert trombonist. Tommy Lasorda, Roger Ebert, Marla Maples. Name someone who's butted it up, someone who's plumping the rump, and someone who's dumped a trump. Yes. Okay. Carl Reiner, as they say, wears many hats. He is multi-talented, writer, performer, director, and a dear friend. Would you welcome Mr. Carl Reiner?
And for the first time in a lot of years, I can actually talk after I did that.
You've been doing that over the last dozen or so appearances. You come out and you do 30 seconds of eccentric dancing.
It's my yearly physical.
That's right.
As I get older, it gets more difficult.
Yeah.
Have you noticed George Burns, when he does a soft shoe, just the hands work?
Just jump. But they love him and they go for it.
Well, you know, I have discovered this is my 46th appearance on your show. Yes.
Well.
And I am so saddened that there is no chance that I will beat Tony Randall's 2 millionth appearance.
Yeah, Tony's been here a gaggle of times.
Because he's out of work a lot more than I used to.
You got your breath now? You sound good?
No, I'm fine now. I went to Pritikin I was in the south of France for the whole summer, surrounded by fat and great restaurants. And we had a lot of friends coming through. And when friends come through, they want to eat in those places. We had, week after week, Gene Wilder, Alan Alda. And I'm not a name dropper.
Right.
Oh, yes, I am.
Of course you are.
Yes, I am. Of course I am.
And you go to all these 4-star, 3-star restaurants?
Mel Brooks came through, and we ate with, and Larry Gelbart, and we ate good restaurants. They say, well, let's go to the good ones. And we did. And the good restaurants serve good food, and the good food is very fattening, and it'll kill you. So every year when I come back, or every 2 years, I go to Pritikin and cleanse myself.
And you go on how long?
I went for 2 weeks, and I lost 10 pounds, and my blood pressure came. My cholesterol is so good, I don't even want to tell you about it.
Yeah, well, you're looking good.
I feel good.
You're looking good.
You're applauding what? Health? That's it.
You went to Sid Caesar, if people do not know, Carl was one of the original people on the old show of shows with Sid Caesar, Imogene Coca, Carl Reiner, a lot of other talented people on the Howie Morris. And Sid and Imogene opened here for a limited engagement for a while. And I read the reviews. I didn't get a chance to see them, but I read the reviews, and they said it's remarkable how the things still play.
It'll do your heart good. There's a lot of people with our colored hair, for those of us who have hair. And, but it's a wonderful thing, the kind of loyalty people have to the performers they have loved as younger people, and they are still able to do what they did. I never saw a more heartfelt standing ovation at the very end. Sid is at the top of his game. Now, I don't like to mention a woman's age, but it's been in the paper, and I think you should get applauded when you're 82 years old. Imogene Coca. Imogene
Coca is 82? Yeah.
She's doing her famous striptease with the polo coat. She's doing the May dance. She's doing the singer, the bar singer, and she's just extraordinary, both of them. Sid has never been funnier. Right. Sid has never been funnier.
That's amazing, isn't it? At 82,
yeah, I recommend it. It makes you feel good.
Good. Speaking of France, didn't you study French or something? What is that story?
Oh, well, in the Army, yeah, I studied French in high school and learned j'ai. That's about what I learned. I have. And in the Army, there was a thing called the Specialized Training Program where they were teaching us to be interpreters. We learned what we call area and language. We learned all about the area. We went to Georgetown University for a year and studied everything in French. At the beginning was very difficult because they spoke only French. And at the end, we graduated, we got our diplomas, and all the French students were sent to Hawaii. Well, that wasn't as bad because there might be some French-speaking people in Hawaii. Some of these Hawaiians might speak French. But they sent all the Japanese students to Paris. Do you feel there was a mistake made there? Weird. I think the war would have been over a week earlier had they done it right.
You were actually trained to go in? Were you that skillful?
No, I was not. I got more skillful after I got my little house in France when you have to know how to fix the toilet and things like that. Yeah. No, I was fairly good. I remember words that you wouldn't need, like la lime à ongle, a nail file. Why do I need that? But I mean, you remember words that were necessary. But when you live in a house, that's when you learn the language.
Yeah. It's funny how certain words, if you try to learn the language and then don't stay with it, you'll only remember certain things for no other reason. You know, all I could remember was est-ce que je peux léger? I mean, I try it on.
Yeah,
because if I was in a store, they'd say this, and I'd say, est-ce que je peux léger? So when people would stop me on the street, panhandlers would say that, I would say, and they couldn't quite understand it. They're begging for something, and I said, would you like to try it on? But it sounded so good.
You did it so well.
Est-ce que je peux léger?
You do have a good ear for language because you do Russian, too, I understand. You studied some Russian.
I'm studying Russian.
And you're studying...
I don't know why, I'm just doing it.
Because...
But you have a good ear because you, and like Sid, do all the phonetic languages, which means absolutely nothing, whether it's Italian or French.
Yes, Sid, in his, he does The Bicycle Thief, which is one of the things we did before. And the fun of it is to take anything and start to talk, like, I'll sell this pencil. What do you want it sold in? What language do you want it sold in?
French.
In French.
Mesdames et messieurs, restons là, figurez-vous, consultez un pencil. Mais attention, le pencil qui sont comme ça. Et le pencil, on ne peut pas ça parce qu'il n'y a personne de leur part. Le point ici, le point là. Voilà, 2 points ici, là.
2 points ici, là. Est-ce que je peux léger? Would you like to try it on? Yes. We'll be right back. Est-ce que je peux léger? That's all I can say. Yes, we have returned. What do you got here?
Well, you know, it's, as I said, I'm saddened that you're semi-retiring. You're not retire. I mean,
no, I'm just leaving the show and doing
leaving this desk. That's it. But anyway,
no, I'm taking the desk with me.
This is a retirement present for when you do retire, not for a long time.
Yeah. Are you serious?
I'll open it because I would like to give it to you. You know, I once gave him a tuna sandwich, and never gets presents because he's a man who they think has everything, but he doesn't.
Bought me a tuna sandwich one night.
I brought him a sandwich. These are things that you will use. First of all, this, you know, you'll use
slippers.
Those. Yeah, slippers. Do you have a pair of slippers?
Well, these look. Oh, these are not used.
No, they're used.
Oh, I see.
They were used by Somerset Maugham. Somerset Maugham used. They're very, very beautiful slippers. Now,
these Somerset
Maugham.
Sure.
And this is a pipe that we've plugged up so you can look right while you're retired sitting in front of your television.
This was used by, I suppose, Basil Rathbone or something?
That's Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone and Somerset Maugham slippers.
And these were Elsa Lanchester's glasses.
Of course they were. You betcha.
And that's when you... And this you'll need. Now, let me tell you where this comes from.
Wait, well, is safe?
Sid Caesar once did a sketch written by the wonderful writers where we did the Somerset Winterset Theater.
Right.
And Somerset was sitting in front of his television set. He says, I have my slippers, my pipe, and my gun. I'm ready to watch television. Are you? That's in case we see anything offensive on television.
I'm ready. You know, I still think the funniest sketch they did was This Is Your Life.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you remember that one or not, but it was, he didn't want to go up on the stage, and he clung.
He clung to whoever he... First of all, Howie Morris was clinging to his legs. This Is Your Life. He loved Howie Morris and he loved each other so much, his old uncle, Uncle Goopy. When he
That's
saw
right.
Uncle Goopy, they started shaking with love, and they would not let go.
And he wrapped himself around his leg, and he walked all over the stage with Howie
a guy on
Morris,
his leg.
and never could get him off his leg.
No.
Everywhere they went.
And I pulled him off, and then he wrapped himself around me, and I couldn't get rid of him. He was like a little monkey.
Does that seem like those shows were, what, almost 40?
Over 40 years.
40 years ago?
1950 to 59.
God, that's
So it's,
incredible.
40, that was 40 years ago.
Now, are you writing a book? Is this correct?
Oh, yes, I'm in my last stages of the book. I think another month and I'll have it done.
Is this on your career? Entertainment? A novel?
No. This is, if it works, it's real writing. It comes from the madness that lies resting in your brain, someplace in the corners of your brain, and you sit at a typewriter, and people jump in, and characters jump in, and if you can't get them out, they stay there, and they do funny things. And it's a very exciting thing. You don't realize what's in your head until you look around. Yeah. And I'm in my 400th page, and I'm almost finished, but not quite yet.
It's a love story. It's about a lot of work, isn't it?
It's fun. It is fun because it comes from you, and nobody else helps you. You don't ask anybody, and nobody has to edit it. But the editors, you don't give it to an actor to act. You don't give it to a director to direct. It's right from you to the page.
Good.
And
I look forward for it.
And you should even try it.
When you were before you did Show of Shows, you did Shakespeare, did you not?
Oh, I was a real actor. A real actor. No, I did.
Classically trained, or?
Well, I wasn't trained. I was thrown into it. I had a very good ear. When I saw Basil Rathbone on the screen or Claude Rains, I was able, Ronald Coleman was a fellow I loved, and I impersonated them, but I was always too embarrassed in school. When we were asked to do Shakespeare,
I know.
I wouldn't get up because I know if I talked regular, I'd be made fun of.
I did the same thing.
Really?
They'd ask you to get up in theater and do a soliloquy either from Hamlet or something, and I'd camp it up because I figure if I didn't, they would laugh at me, and I figured if I did it comically, then I wouldn't get involved.
Exactly, and not until I was 18 years old, and I was asked to audition for a Shakespearean touring company, I realized I can do it for real now. I don't have to say, now is the winter. I can do it for real.
Now is the winter of our discontent.
That's a great story, by the way, when I said that. This I didn't know. The man who ran the company, Avon Shakespearean Company in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, was an old great ham named Selman, Harold Selman, yes. And he said I was a very good actor. He called me over one day. He says, my boy, he says, you have potential and resilience. You can be a marvelous actor. And he say after me. And he said, now is the winter of our discontent. A glorious summer by the son of York. Say it. Now, I didn't know if he I swear to God, I was 18 years old. I didn't know if he was doing that to see if I could impersonate him or, which I didn't know, he had a stroke.
Okay.
So I said, now is the winter of our discontent. A glorious summer by the son of York. Oh. And his hand was doing this.
So you did that.
A glorious summer. Oh, God. And he looked at me, and he said, very good.
We'll be right back. Now is the winter of our discontent. Okay, I'm glad that you are... I'm glad that you're in a nice, silly, laughable mood tonight because this young lady is making her very first appearance on The Tonight Show. She's a comedian. She's going to be appearing locally at the Ventura Theater the 12th of this month. Then she'll be at Casper's Comedy Club in Naples, Florida, the 29th of October, November 2nd, at the Comedy Works in Tampa, November 26th through December 1st. Would you welcome Destiny?
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm a little tired. I've been doing a lot of traveling and taking a lot of those red-eye flights, which I hate a lot because I'm always so exhausted, and then I get those bags under my eyes. And then I always have to get that one stewardess in a bad mood. You know, she'll come up to me and say, there's some pretty big bags under your eyes, miss. You're gonna have to shove your head under the seat before we take off. They try to make you comfortable on a plane. You know, they give you what they call pillows. I call them cosmetic puffs. Here, relax. Well, could I have another one that just soaked up all the oil in my face? I'm originally from San Francisco, so Destiny is my real name. Thank you. It's not a stage name, and yes, my parents are hippies. I have a last name, they just can't remember it. I don't do drugs. I don't have to. My parents did enough for all of us. My mother stopped wearing a bra at 16. So by the time she was 25, she had to wear a belt with a double D cup. Just moved in with my boyfriend, which is great. He doesn't know it yet. He just thinks I've been hanging out a lot, you know. Every time he goes to sleep, I move something else of mine in. Live with someone a while, you find odd habits they have. He likes walking around the house naked. It's not just our house, it's any house. I'm glad I'm living with him, though, because I was living in a pretty bad neighborhood. It was a lot like that movie, Escape from New York. I'd be waiting at a bus stop, a human head stuck on a pole, asking me for change. Prostitutes, lots of prostitutes, which is great because being a comedian, I come home to sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. Prostitutes are out. I'm out. We look a lot alike. Trying to take care of myself, though. I actually joined a gym. These instructions, where did I get these people, these instructors? I walk in there, she says, "What are you here for?" I said, "Well, I like my legs more defined." She said, "All right, they're white and flabby." Been dieting. The only thing I can't stand about dieting is I'm hungry 24 hours a day, you know, and it shows on my face. I was waiting for a cab the other day. This pigeon looks at me, looks down his bread, looks at me again, just says, "Take it." I think the women who have the hardest time dieting are high fashion models, definitely. These women are thin, and it's hard to stay that way. I read this article about them that they'll go through such extremes to keep their weight off, they'll swallow tapeworms in little capsules. What a way to diet. Could you imagine a beautiful model having lunch with the producer? "Excuse me, would you pass a ketchup, please?" "Oh, pardon me." Had to cut down on some of the makeup products I was wearing. I found out that they're testing makeup on animals. I was a little surprised. I thought all the makeup tests in the U.S. was on Tammy Faye Baker. How do they test makeup on animals? What do they do? Get a pig, put some lipstick, some rouge on it, send it to a bar, see if somebody picks up on it? Could you imagine the look on the guy's face the next morning who wakes up with a pig in his bed? He's like, "God, my friends told me you're a pig, but I had no idea." Look pretty good in that lingerie, though. Do a lot to my hair. Been bleaching a lot lately. Now it's dry. Now it's so dry when I sweat, it actually sucks the sweat off my face. It's kind of embarrassing when you're standing in line in a bank and all of a sudden you hear, I wear a lot of hairspray. Too much. I wear so much hairspray, you go into my bathroom, there are flies stuck in midair. Thank you.
It was destiny, unusual. We'll be back in a moment. Yes, folks. My next guest, folks, lives just a few miles in the valley up here in Van Nuys, California. He is a bachelor. He's 103 years old. Would you welcome Mike Zella? It's nice to meet you.
Naturally. We both...
Now, did I pronounce your name right, Mr. Zella? Mike Zella?
You just right. Mike Zella. Romanian name.
What's Romanian?
I'm Romanian.
You are.
My mother's Matias.
Yeah, too deep in the...
Do you speak any Romanian at all?
Well, I understand if somebody speak to me, but I forgot. See, I'm out here since 1910, I guess I left there.
Yeah, you tend to forget languages after 80 years or so. It just kind of drifts off. Did you used to speak Romanian years ago?
Well, I did, yeah. Try some Hungarian too.
Right.
And Russian down there by Black Sea. Just that you go around in those countries down there, well, free country.
Right. So you live in Van Nuys now?
I do. By mistake.
That's now. To explain what you mean by that, you originally were supposed to go where?
In Venice.
Venice.
Yeah.
Now, what year was that, Mike?
That was the 1927.
1927.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? You made a wrong turn at Sepulveda, or what?
Well, there's nothing happened. It's just I never go to Venice. So go to Van Nuys. And you never plant the sweet potatoes?
I never what?
Plant the sweet potatoes.
Have I ever planted sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I never did neither, but... You got nice people out here. I was thinking, somebody say that you're going to retire. Why?
I'm going to leave this show next year.
Oh, you're going to leave?
Leave the show, yeah.
Next year?
Yeah.
Well, you leave them this year, too.
No, I'm going to stay here this year, but next spring, I'm going to retire from this show.
Oh, you're never going to work a little on the side after retire, you know?
No.
Somebody do that.
No, I'm going to plant sweet potatoes after I... Did you used to be a farmer?
I started when I was 7 years old.
When you were 7 years old?
When I started farming. I lead the auction out there for my uncle. He's got 2 auctions, and I got another uncle, have a 2 auctions.
An auction,
They put them all together, then give me a 10-foot rope, and then I walk them in the 4. Then we plow all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, whereabouts in Romania are you from originally?
From...
The only place I remember in Romania is Transylvania. Is that part of?
That's a good name for it. Yeah, that was close in there. Transylvania, there. Well, it's what they call, Hungary sometimes.
Right.
And
that's Dracula's. This is where Dracula originally came from, right? Or not? Dracula, I think, was...
I thought you say Russian.
No, not Russian.
See, sometime I making a little mistake, but
well, that's all right.
I don't mean that.
That's all right. I understand that.
Just, you
yeah.
lose the...
I can understand that. I understand that. Now, you've never been married, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have been married. But you're a bachelorette, they said.
Well, I am now.
Oh, I see.
But I was bachelor before I was married.
Well, that's a good way to approach it. Yeah. So when were you first married?
I was married. I don't know. Too bad the woman died. She knew better than I.
I'm sorry. Were you married a long time?
Not too long.
Not too long.
I was married for 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah, that's plenty for one time.
Yes, yes.
You've been married.
Yes, I have.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, 4 times.
Well, your capacity looked like you could stand the pressure.
Yeah.
But
I'm holding up pretty well.
But you're going to quit for good next time. If you ever quit.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, well, that I thought.
Yeah. Did you ever think of getting married again after you were married? Do you like being a bachelor?
Oh, I think so every day. That if I just run across to some that is able to cook beans or stuff like that.
Oh. In other words, if you could find somebody who could cook beans, you might get married again.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good criteria.
Well, crush the pool on some more. Don't hurt.
Yeah.
They never do you any harm 4 times.
No, I'm holding up pretty well.
No problem.
You seem to be in pretty good health. Do you don't smoke?
No, in here. But I smoke home.
Oh, you smoke at home?
Yeah. That's the trouble with me. I started when I was 42 years old.
Started smoking when you were 42?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're 103, so...
Yeah, then half and half.
Yeah. Well, you better watch it. It's not good for your health, you know. You're 103.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people say that.
Yeah.
It's no good for your health.
Yeah. Do you have?
But I never misplaced my health yet.
No, you look very good. Do you have a little drink once in a while, a little wine or something?
Oh, that was my problem. I'm glad you brought that up. That's the way got me in California. And we gets me out of California.
Yeah.
But I have problem with that.
Oh, with drinking?
Yeah, with drinking. Everybody has if you drink.
Yeah.
But...
well, you look in good shape and you're a charming gentleman. And it's nice to have you here tonight. Mr. Zeller just told me this is, you just said it was one of the nice moments of your life tonight, right?
That's right.
Well, it's one of ours, too. I thank you for being here. I'm humbled by that applause.